Welcome back, Watchmen. Let's analyze. We maintain a sullen watch over a chart that refuses to acknowledge yesterday's spoils. The silence from the throne room is absolute as the army of buyers remains lost in the mist. The ground continues to soften beneath the weight of indifference. The day's watch began in the darkness of the pre-market at 74 cents. This line held briefly until a steady decline began to erode the position. By the gray of dawn, the retreat paused at the 70.5-cent level, maintaining a fragile equilibrium until the sun broke. The descent resumed immediately, and when the opening bell chimed at 69 cents, it continued further. In the first hour of the session, a brief skirmish saw a bounce from the 67.5-cent floor, but the advance was firmly rejected at the 70-cent barrier by mid-morning. The defenders fell back to the 66.5-cent line as the midday meal approached, but the footing they found there was fragile. A final attempt to reclaim the 68.5-cent heights before noon was repelled, leading to a long fade into the close at 66.5 cents. Spectacular revenue news reported yesterday has been met with a cold, hollow market. Today brought no new scrolls or filings to bolster the defenses, leaving us to bleed out in the absence of fresh catalysts. The gap between the company's worth and the share's cost remains a wide, treacherous canyon. Now, we must hold the low ground and wait for the arithmetic to catch up to reality. Alright, now let's move to the window and view the charts. Here on the daily we can see this hideous monster red candle here ruin the day. It's actually not that bad. It stopped at the demand zone. It didn't penetrate through it, but it's still not a very bullish thing to open right under the MA and then get pushed down and rejected. So let's hope we can see some change in that tomorrow. For now, let's go ahead and dive a little bit deeper to the hourly. Alright, we can see the arrow I had here yesterday. It followed the first part, but then once it got here, it forgot that it was supposed to come back up. Somebody forgot to remind the candles that they were supposed to come up here. I don't know who did that, but they need to be fired. Okay, let's get rid of this. There were no new zones that formed even with this breaking. There's no real clear area to put a zone. So there's not much to look at here other than the steady decline that we witnessed all day. Let's go ahead and dive a little deeper and pay respects to our candle of the day. Today's winner is going to be this candle here in the middle of the demand for being a good little soldier and doing what he was supposed to do. Came to this demand and realized, hey, this is where we're supposed to turn around. Let's turn around. And he did. Now, the fruits of his labors were not capitalized upon, but he did his job, and he did it well. Good job, little candle man. Alright, now let's back out and do our forecast for tomorrow. Unfortunately, I'm thinking that without some new catalyst, we're going to come up here and bull trap off of this MA and probably do some more kind of sideways-ish stuff. Might end up a little bit red, might end up a little bit green, but I don't think it's going to be too pronounced in either direction. Let's hope that I'm wrong and that we do something crazy like this, huh? Let's do that. Sounds good? Good plan. Okay, now we'll go ahead and pay our visits to the foreign lands. We have, first off, we'll see GV. Visionary is still kind of moving sideways. It has higher lows, so it's still, even if they're not much, it is still slightly moving up. And we got a little bit of a higher high here by 0.2 of a cent. But I mean, you only got to win the game by 1 point, right? Let's move these out a little bit. Alright, so we'll be watching for this take profit 1 to get hit, and we'll move the stop up. And then we can go ahead and take a look at some of the other tickers. Sidus didn't hit yet. It's actually, I'm kind of losing faith in this move right here. I haven't yet. My order still stands, but this the fall, and without the momentum changing and going up and breaking and getting a new high, it's not a good technical sign. So I'm going to be watching this one real close. We'll see what happens with it. But for now, it's still valid. I'm leaving it there. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Alright, and on to SafeX, XCF Global. The entry almost got hit. Didn't quite get hit. Almost. So close. And then, see, the bounce here didn't take a new high either. So I'm thinking that it'll probably drop down again, and hopefully we'll get a nice little reaction out of this demand zone when it does. Alright, so today's new entry in the foreign lands is Dark Iris Incorporated, ticker symbol DKI. Let me stretch this out a little bit. We'll go ahead and see that there. Here, let's go to the daily. We got a nice strong daily candle here. Didn't close quite at the top, but it closed above the halfway mark. That's good enough for me. So we'll zoom into the hourly and look for our zone, which we have marked right here. This little continuation zone. And so I'm setting my entry for 70 cents, and my stop is going at 62.6225. That's going to encapsulate this little demand zone here. I'm going to set my profit target 1 for 85 cents, and my second profit target for 103, with the third one, the final one, at 120. We'll see where this can go tomorrow. Now we can take a look at our trading journal, and we can see that I put the DKI entry in here, and it automatically populated my recommended position size based on my formula of maximum risk divided by entry minus stop. And so I don't like 416. It's not a very round number. Probably up that to, I don't know, or lower it maybe to just an even 400 or 415 maybe. Something that's divisible by 3. 1, 2, 3. I don't know. I'll figure that out. But so that's about all there is new on here. I did change this little. I added this little color code. And the red will be my closed orders, yellow will be active, and green is an order that's waiting to be filled. So we're going to tweak this thing. We'll keep working on it and making it pretty as we go. But that's going to be it for tonight. So we can close out the session. And I will remind everybody to smash the like button and ring the closing bell to subscribe. Go ahead and drop me some comments below on whatever tickers you guys want to watch. And we will return on the morrow. Until the end of all things, the Night Watch stands forever.